Hi everybody, I'm Marc Myers. And behind that camera is my son Marc Myers Jr. I'm currently the resident drummer for Jay Collins. If you like good music, I recommend you go check him out. You can check him out on Facebook, Reverb Nation. You can download his music on iTunes and check him out at jcollinsmusic.com. I love being the guy's drummer. Also, I want to thank Bailey's. They're one of the longtime friends of Jay Collins and sponsors. I never had a Bailey hat until I joined his band. I got one now. So if you're in the market for a really good hat that feels good and most of all looks good, get yourself a Bailey's. So why am I here today? Let's get down to it. I'd love to talk to you about the Alesis Strike Pro module and how I use it for recording. Let's get to it. Okay. Specifically today, I want to talk about recording and how to use this module to track drums in your DAW. And I specifically bought the Alesis after a whole lot of research. I found out it was probably the only module I could find that had line outs, so that I could track individual tracks of the drums as if I was using my acoustic kit. Now I will tell you, I would rather use my acoustic kit for anything. I don't like electronic drums per se, live or recording or whatever, but logistically I just can't make that happen here. So this kit really fits my needs and does a great job. I'll get into another video later about how I've set the triggers up and the responsiveness and the overall use after maybe a couple more weeks of use. I'll give you a good review and feedback on that. I appreciate everybody who does feedback on YouTube about products, especially drum related, because I buy a lot of drum stuff. So I'm just trying to also do that to help people out. There wasn't a whole lot about this module out there because it's so new, especially in relation to using these line outs and how to record. So I put this thing through its paces the other day, and I've got some good information for you. So first of all, in this video we'll do some cuts and zoom in on the areas I'm talking about. The first area I'm going to talk about with the Strike module is those line outs I was speaking about, and in a minute we'll cut in and show you those. There's 8 line outs. These line outs in this module act much like a insert on your mixers. Basically, it's a pre-fader line out. It goes out from the Alesis Strike Pro module and goes into whatever your interface is that connects to your DAW. In my case, I have a Tascam 16x8. I use the front 8 inputs, and it comes from the back of the Alesis. Now, the cool thing about this is the signal that you get from the Alesis module is a dry signal, just like as if you were using a regular mixer. It's the signal, pre-fader, pre-effects, everything. So, for example, if I go in and customize a kit and set it up, I use the Maple Custom. Those sounds are the basic raw Maple Custom sounds in that module that go into my DAW, which I appreciate because I don't like all those effects on there. So it's almost like I set my drums up, put mics on them, and recorded right into the DAW, and I can put whatever effects I want on there. They're good solid waves, or I can use Easy Drummer 2 or any of the other aftermarket plugins that you can use for your drum sets. So I was really super excited about getting this, and a couple days ago I tracked some songs and I couldn't be happier. One of the things that I did see on the internet when I was researching this, there was one fella that did do some recording using these 8 outputs, is he said the gain was super high. He's absolutely right. When you run these line outs into your interface, the gains are going to be super high, and you can't see it right now, but on my Tascam I have all 8 of the preamp channels to 0. Like, I'm talking about the gain knobs are all the way down to 0. Even though they're all the way down to 0, when I opened the unit up and began to play, you can see how hot this is. I mean, it's totally peaking out. Like, you can see where the snare is on that. Like, it's totally that. They're so hot. So, as I mentioned before, the line outs are pre-faders, so none of the main volume, I turn the main volume all the way down, it doesn't change, it's still peaking. You have to go into the unit, and the way you do that is, and right now we're probably going to do a cut edit, but I'm going to go ahead and talk through this. You go into the unit, I like to do note chase, and then I hit voice. So I hit my snare, and when you go into the voice, it shows you your layer A and your layer B. And then what you do is you go in, and each one of those voices has a level. That is the gain output in your voice choice in your menu options of the Strike Pro. And again, we'll do cut edit here and you'll be able to see all that. Hopefully that's happening right now. Once you set up all your levels to every single thing in your kit, you save your kit as your tracking kit. That's what I did. I used the Maple Customs. I went into every single thing, every rim, every tom, every piece of my kit, got all the levels set, and then set it as my tracking kit. Now I'm going to pull up my tracking kit and I'm going to show you how it looks in the DAW. And as you know, if you've used this at all, it takes just a moment for the kit to load up, and then I'll show you how it looks. Okay, it loaded up. Now you're going to notice all the levels are going to be right around -18, somewhere bouncing in between there, and that's a good place to be. So as you can see, everything is not peaking. So just to recap, to set your gains, you have to go in the main menu, your voice menu, and set each voice level there. Your master volume and your fader volumes on your mixer are not going to change that gain setting. Now, real quick, there's 8 outputs. I had the Strike kit. Some of you folks had the Strike Pro kit. You have all these toms. What I learned is this is how it lays out when you go to track drums. You're going to have channel 1 is going to be your kick, or whatever channel you want to assign to. This is how it breaks out. You've got basically a kick send, a snare send, which by the way those are stereo, a tom left and a tom right. That is all your toms. If you have 2 toms, that's all your left tom, your left side of your toms and your right side of your toms. Basically every time I hit a tom, there's my left, there's my middle, there's my right. So it's summed up. All your toms are basically summed up. And I panned my first tom a little to the left, I kept my second tom in the middle, and my right tom to the right. So if you're going to use an aftermarket DAW or plugin like Easy Drummer 2 or Premier Drums or whatever, you're going to have to go in to your software, and wherever you hit your center tom, if you really want to make that attach a specific sound to it, you're going to need to crop that section out of the track and make it another track for that center tom. It's a little labor intensive, so I decided that when I'm tracking, I'm really not going to actually even use Easy Drummer 2 or Addictive Drums or anything, because these sounds are so raw. I can just go in and, as if I recorded my acoustic kit, and attach reverb, compression, anything I want to do to make them sound really nice, and I got a really great sound. And hopefully I'll have something done I can put up. If not, I'll put some stuff up later. So basically that's kind of what will get you going recording with this thing, and the more I get done, some of the songs we're recording and stuff, I'll post some stuff also. But if you have any questions or want to know some more about how to track with this, or maybe some inputs and some helpful hints, I'll help you out. Just send me an email. I'll be glad to respond to you. Thanks, you guys. Have a good day. Out in the country,